Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Art as Therapy. I am Moses Michael, your host, and as always, thank you for pressing play today. If this is your first time listening, this podcast is a space where I talk about art, emotion, healing, and everything that happens in between those moments when we create and when we feel. In the last episode, we explored light in the shadows, how art can become a quiet space for healing, a way to breathe again when life gets overwhelming. But today, we are talking about something a little heavier, something many of us deal with quietly, sometimes without even realizing it. Today's episode is called The Weight of Perfection. You know, perfection can sound beautiful. We are taught to strive for it in our art, our craft, even our lives. But what nobody tells you is how heavy that word becomes when you carry it too long. I remember when I first started drawing, I wasn't thinking about perfect lines or balance or composition. I was just drawing. There was this freedom, this innocence. I could spend hours sketching faces, eyes, shapes, and it felt pure. I didn't care if it was good enough. It was just expression. But as I grew and people started noticing my work, I began noticing my flaws. Every new artwork suddenly became a test. Not a moment of freedom, but a quiet pressure to prove something, to live up to something. It got to a point where I couldn't even start a drawing without thinking about the end. Will this be good enough? Will people like it? Will I like it? As most of you know, I work in Grayscale. No colors, just tones, shadows, and light. I've always loved light. Not because it's bright, but because it defines everything it touches. But sometimes, I felt like that light exposed too much. Every mistake, every imbalance, every wrong stroke, it's all there. And as beautiful as that honesty is, it can also be terrifying. Because perfectionism, it hides behind the love of detail. You think you are just improving your work, but really, you are trying to hide your vulnerability. There was a portrait I worked on a while ago. I remember spending days adjusting the highlights, reworking the contrast, zooming in and out 100 times. And after all that effort, I still felt it wasn't right. I almost didn't post it. But something in me said, just share it, let it go. And when I did, the messages that came surprised me. People weren't seeing what I saw. They weren't focused on the areas I thought were imperfect. They felt the emotion, the softness, the honesty, the light. That's when it hit me. Perfection had been robbing me of connection. I was chasing symmetry when people were seeking sincerity. You see, when we create from fear of failure, fear of being seen as less, we drain the life out of our art. Because art was never meant to be perfect. It was meant to be human. And humans, we are messy. We make mistakes. We learn, unlearn, and heal through every stroke. Every erasure, every layer. But I get it. The world we live in doesn't make that easy. We scroll through flawless work every day, perfectly lit, perfectly composed, and we forget that behind those polished images are hundreds of unseen failures. We start comparing our process to someone else's results. And slowly, perfection becomes this invisible weight pressing down on our creativity. I've learned something though, something I wish I understood earlier. Art isn't about control, it's about trust. Trusting yourself enough to make a mark, even if you don't know where it's leading. Trusting that your imperfections can tell stories your perfection never could. Because the truth is, people don't fall in love with perfect art. They fall in love with honest art. They fall in love with a little smudge you almost erase, with the emotion you didn't plan to show, with the way the light hits just slightly off balance, because it feels real. Sometimes, I think about the pieces I never finished, the ones I abandoned because I thought they weren't good enough. And it makes me wonder how many moments of healing I've missed, simply because I was waiting to feel ready. Perfection will keep you waiting forever, but healing begins when you accept that enough is a beautiful place to be. So, to anyone listening who's been feeling that same pressure, the one that makes you overthink every line, every color, every post, I want you to know this. Your art doesn't have to be perfect to matter. It just needs to be true to you. If your line shakes, let it. If your light falls unevenly, embrace it. If your composition feels different, maybe that's your voice showing up. Let your flaws breathe. They might be the most beautiful parts of what you create. Thank you for listening to this episode of Art as Therapy. Perfection might look beautiful, but authenticity feels eternal. And every time you create from your heart, you are not just making art, you are letting a part of yourself heal. Until next time, stay creative, Keep drawing, keep feeling, and most importantly, keep being real. I am Moses Michael, and this was Art as Therapy.